finally got around to writing up my notes from the third and final part of Ronald Hutton's The Witch, which sees his investigation is narrowed down to the British Isles. What does it say? The starting point is Celtic literature. Medieval and Irish texts are full of murderous old hags with their classic accessories, and this put me in mind of one of the darlings of present-day literature, just making a video of me, which features a common trope of the pan-European satanic witch of Trials fame, a shape-shifting companion, usually in the form of an animal. I'm referring, as you may have guessed, to Pantalaimon from Philip Pullman's Dark Materials. The trilogy opens with the line, Lyra and her demon move through the darkening hall. This being is the heroine's sidekick, and while usually manifest as a marten or a stoat, is in this scene a moth. Teenager Lyra isn't a witch, and owning a protean creature alone doesn't make you one, though you couldn't tell that to everyone in the 16th century, when having a weird pet could get you into a lot of trouble. The two earliest cases, according to Hutton, are the following. In Yorkshire in 1510, a man was caught feeding his bumblebees with his own blood, and off he was hauled. Then in 1530, a West Country nosy Parker saw a toad wandering into a neighbour's house and had the book thrown at said neighbour. By the 19th century, belief in the animal familiar, as they're now known, was reduced to East Anglia, and by the 20th century it had fizzled out altogether. This isn't to say that fear of witches didn't persist. A belief in witches themselves and in their ability to shift shape into animals remained a vibrant aspect of popular culture all over England and Wales until the 20th century. What about in the 21st century? Well, we don't believe in witches, of course, not here and now. At school our kids are told there's no such thing, right Mal? No witches, no? This is Europe, the seat of advanced thinking. But before we get too complacent, Hutton clears his throat, erects a cautionary finger and makes this sobering observation. Europeans alone turned witches into practitioners of an evil anti-religion, and Europeans alone have subsequently and spontaneously ceased officially to believe in them. This, he says, is the radical final solution to the threat of witchcraft. So there, we constructed the witch, we persecuted her, we finally dismantled her. I met one once, I told you about this, no man? Yes, a real witch, back in Luton while I was doing my witnessing rounds in Marsh Farm, the council estate which achieved national infamy following the race riots there in the 90s. Don't worry, I'll pick it up now. She had long, unbrushed white hair, venous forearms and blue watercolour eyes. She invited me in and I sat on her sofa while she went to the kitchen to make a cup of tea. There was nothing remarkable about the place. Fairy lights strung along the mantelpiece, bric-a-brac in corners, and nestled between the ceiling and a bookcase, staring at me, was a fluffy white cat in great sphinx position, not shape-shifting at all. She, the witch, wasn't having any of the Bible, naturally, but she did make a lovely cuppa, but I have to say, I've not been quite right since. Let's turn this thing off.